Okay. Alrighty. Unlock. Okay. Society. Okay, so remembering what's going on. You know, I actually might need my middle little AC. Hello, Eclipse how's it going? Actually, let me get my little mini AC. I'm about to fry a little bit. But I'll be right back quickly. Alright, I am back. Give me 1 second. Okay. Alrighty. I am back. I just got my little AC. I was cooking myself up. So now I can feel cool. Just for a little bit. I can tell when I sometimes feel hot, like hot, a little bit humid, when my little tiny whiskers of like very tiny trimmed beard and mustache feels like very dry. So it gets like a little bit annoying. But anyway, I'm back. Last one, the logic was then let's play that. Doesn't play. Because I wonder, if there's going to be there we go. Let's need to add one blend thing. Have to go here. And then I just need some little animation test to see if everything works. So we'll just put random stuff in here. See what works. Okay. Curiosity. If there wasn't this, how would this behave? Oh, wait. Ah, I see. I gotta unplug that. Plug this in. Ah, wait. Is that it? Is that why? Probably. So if let's see, let's just disable this loop thing now. See where this goes. Okay, interesting. does it once here. So when you go on the ground, move forward with it, I think it's waiting for like a calling reset. That's why it's just stuck like that. Okay. But we're getting somewhere. I think it has something to do with this conjunction over here. So, if I do play this, and then this thing jump, then you can attack. So now, one of the few things I'm trying to figure that out. So this thing's trying to tell it to do UP here. Okay, so if the character is falling or has this, with the jump, I have a better idea. Let's do greater than or equals to 1. Bless myself. Ah, there we go. Let's just temporarily disable that. Move this over here. See how it behaves. Alright, what if I just have so all this conjunction can cause for right here. Hello, how's it going? How's it going, Nightwolf? I'm just messing with the logic behind this because right now I am programming my jump animation interaction, but I don't have anything set, so I have a placeholder and stuff. So right now I'm just relooking my condition to see what it's telling. Because so far I think anything that's going from here to here is fine. It's just the only thing that's causing it is that it's much more likely because of something that's going on here and here. So I'm just pointing out it. Because if I remove that, have that over here, then the jump then the jump fighting sequence can start in the middle of jumping, which that's good. So something in the logic that keeps him in check with the combo thing is causing it to go a little haywire. Because everything's fine here. I wonder if I do regular over here. See, now I can do that. So I'm just doing a little bit debugging. So everything's here, but you can just like also interrupt this with that going on here too. I mean, it'll just reset with that too. So that's where my like middle click action goes to. So you can like pause and interrupt. But evidently you can do spam just like left click, middle click, left click, middle click, and then you'll start getting a little faster. Yeah, but the whole thing for this is pretty much have that, and then you can, yeah. So you can have her spin and stuff. And that would probably be the other interaction when you jump in the middle of that. So if I do that, I wonder. Okay, so you can still do that in the middle of it. Alright. But the thing is about this works fine and all that. So it does check if you're falling, then this thing will like reset the combo thing if it hits that. So the only thing I think that's causing it to kind of like interfere with this going on here, and that it's the falling, probably the falling thing, but I don't know yet for sure until I just like play around with it. So I'm just gonna see what happens if I just remove the falling feature and say the jump counts current VATs. And then we'll just see what happens. Because what's purpose is that it keeps it in check, so if it's over like 5 ticks of the combo, and then my animation plays like way over 5, it's gonna by default set to 2, but it's not gonna like reset it back to 1 quickly. But this conjunction and stuff could be just like itself. I might just like completely remove it. It depends. Because I don't, it just sounds like it could be a little bit redundant here. So there might be no need with the whole branch thing. Because I do know that if you don't do anything in less than a second, the combo will still automatically reset when he gets to like a certain point to it. But then the only thing is that if I do want to like do a second hand attack with it, then it'll just match up to the second thing. So I think the only thing I would have to have it kind of like reset the whole combo loop thing is that if something interacts with a jump, or if the middle click happens here. Something probably maybe greater than or equal to. Here's I'm curiosity now. Now I think I'm gonna. What if I just don't worry about combo counter? What if I control the jump there? Yeah, just leave that alone for now. And man, you're trying to suck when I'm trying to try out art school. Okay, so it does reset to 1 when I jump in the middle of it. So let's see. shit, no. Okay, so doesn't really do it. So you can't do it in the middle of that. So the only way I have to get rid of this logic completely. Because what's holding it back if it's that, probably. Now this logic kind of worked actually, because I kind of like it how it was like here, if just checking if it's falling or not. So probably not the case over this one. Okay, so let's see. So yeah, this whole tech thing is just basically all trial and error. Most of the time. Okay, wait. So I can still do that. Okay, so it is something, but... Okay, so when you're dashing up this... Doesn't really do it. I saw it did it before. Oh, so you have to do it in the middle when you're just like quickly, but it doesn't let you do. That's weird. Okay. But when you do that, that's fine. Okay, so this whole thing is just like not working out. So we're just gonna have to just ignore it. Maybe we don't need this after all. But this works out fine, as it is. Because when I do that, then I can jump in the middle, then do that my jump attack then as a placeholder. And then in person can always do that too. I like how it just freezes after that. I mean, after a while, it can be fun, but usually all this stuff takes, whenever you're developing this kind of stuff, it always takes time, so that's why there's certain like a little practice of it. So if you like environment a lot, then you probably more dig into the specialized version of environment art and stuff, which is why I do prefer, if you ever make any 3D games, I would just like stick to like small groups of people. Because I mean, if you don't mind just waiting 4 or 5 years, then that's up to you. But if you just want to like play around with other things and just have fun, then it's fine. But I'm sure that this doesn't like take too long, because I do have other things. It's just that if I were putting like say 10 hours a day of this whole thing, this would probably be done for like a while back. But I have other projects that I felt like I wanted to do first over this. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Oh, did you know that? I think I watched an Osmond Gold video, but recently, like whoever, I think the developers made Genshin Impact, they laid off 30% of their voice actors in favor of AI. So they're saving some money. Let's do that. So yeah, so it's coming for everyone, for like a big studios only. Yeah, it's happening. Give it her 10 years or 20 years, the world will change mostly more. It'll probably be more than what we expected. So, to be honest, the only thing I would say that I would stick to, I'm more likely gonna stick to areas to network to people, just to work on small projects, and as in like a small group of people, and not just just not worry about the whole big corporations thing, because it's not really pandering out right now. So it's just pretty much weird. But since I pretty much don't need this, I could feel like I could delete this. Instead of not really using this anymore. Because if I jump, it does technically end the other. Yeah, I actually don't need this. No. Okay. No, I don't need this. I just thought about it. Nope, you don't need this at all. You can shrink that down. Because I realized that the thing's jumping in the middle, but I haven't programmed anything to hit the middle click button to activate something in the animation, so... But I'm curious now. What if I hit this and middle click in that? Because I'm not sure how would interact in the animation blueprint for that to be precise, but I didn't really try that yet, as a curiosity. Indies here I come. Yeah. But if you're doing like a solo indie project, then 2D game design is much more formidable as a solo developing better on that. But when it comes to 3D, there's a lot of things you have to worry about. But 2D is all just sprite animation and stuff, so the assets itself is just interact image to another image, and then interact to a GIF. No, funny, I call that as a GIF, but it's not really, just a looping animation thing. But technically anything looping, it could be considered a GIF, but GIF is also it's a file name, but you don't, it doesn't really use as a GIF. You can use many different file names, but it's just funny to me because I'm so used to on the internet, is there's anything that's a short looping video, I just randomly just call it a GIF in my mind. And you know what's gonna be? Yeah, I know. And you know what's gonna be a little bit it's a little bit exaggerated, but at the current state of how many companies as a whole, that if they just target people who are veterans at their own industry and work, just wait until those people get really super old, and imagine how much like money they're saving right now. And then after when their human resources gets way too old, probably most of them will probably die, and probably some of the families will take over. But then probably some of the AI stuff will just still kind of navigate that. But then depending on certain things, it could, who knows, it could go up or down at that point. But I think some probably 10 or 20 years, some companies will just burst downhill, or just still kind of maintain like a little bit curve as a status. But yeah, but I do know that in some way for sure the AIs will definitely for sure kind of like stabilize some or more of the human resources in long term. But there's not going to be not many people running a AAA studio. It's just going to be run mostly by computers, puppeting by one or two person. And it's going to be more like a family business, or if you're related into that family, then yeah. But at the moment, when I after I click off, I got video recommendations that go into conspiracy theory on how the world could turn out in the future. And then half of the people they feel like slave labor is back or something like that. But it's like, well, we don't know that for sure. I mean, 5 years we weren't expecting some things to happen. So because everyone likes to speculate, and like they're just fear mongering themselves and stuff. So many things can happen actually. So yeah. So I kind of don't believe that the human race is. I mean, in America, we're not gonna have. I mean, we're not gonna have that anything like too exaggerated to that. But it may seem like it sounds like that, but it can go to many directions. That's just one of the possibilities. I mean, half of the YouTube dramas, well, whenever they seek drama, are trying to make a conspiracy videos what could happen in the future, because this happened in today's world. We're all just trying to play like Doctor Strange or something, and just try to dig out what is the worst possibility that could happen in the next 2 weeks, or the course of time. And because there are some people that still have positivity about still the future direction that things are going. It doesn't matter how do you feel, like what do you feel that how you can benefit from any situation. Yeah, but I think we're in the same pitch as long as we don't go to war. Oh yeah, no, war is never the answer. Not in today's world, but hey, I'm not here to decide that. I don't think society can decide when we go to war or not. I mean, there's many other possibilities that World War III could possibly happen. In theory. But do you know that guy about the dog? He's asking me if you can add him. Oh, that. Oh, yeah. If he wants to message me privately, just email him and just have me email me. So if it's anything like commissions related, then he has to directly email me. Yeah, not on Discord, because Discord's much more informal. Yeah. But anywho, I think I would leave these functions alone. I think I said that already before. I actually won't know. Hold on. If I do that, I middle click here. We'll push for. It does move the thing in the ground, but when you do over here. Oh, wait. That answers my question. So it does move your character a little bit, like it's a kind of attack if you do in the middle click. But if you do up here and here, then that's fine. So I gotta figure out how to disable that when the middle click is clicking. Okay. So has to do with probably well, the perform attack would happen. So this is fine over here. I'll probably have to make a new branch statement to say if the person is jumping more than one, like the jump count's more greater than or equal to 1, then do nothing, basically. So yeah, we're gonna tell that. So we can have that. So I can just like move this over here. I mean, I'll just put a new branch statement here. So basically, it will be like an if here, then else if, then else. So we're gonna do it that way. You know, even though there's a branch, I don't think Unreal made it like a branch that has if or else if, or true or else true, or then false. I mean, that would be cool in the future if they ever do that, but technically, another way you can do it is just branch, pretty much. Or is valid branch. I could be wrong. Okay, is valid is like more like a debug. We'll do branch. So if let's just do false, then go to this branch. And then we'll have the condition say, hey, I want to jump. Will you perform attack? And if it's true, then I don't have to plug anything because it'll just don't do anything. So that's already good as it is. So we'll just move that over here. Can you check your Discord art, please? Sure. You have a very sharp drawing. Bottom. Okay. So you're doing something with pixel art. Burst of flirt. Yeah. Curiosity. I knew someone at one point that someone had dyslexia, but no worries. I probably just clicked stone typing. But yeah, it's first time, but it looks cool. Sorry, no worries. It happens. It's just I knew someone in the past that had that, but let's see. Yeah, cool. Kind of looks like more like a. Is this like a mountain? It has more like a mountain outline, but in the inside internally, it kind of feels like a tree a little bit, and then possibly maybe some kind of like waves is coming up there, and I guess these are clouds. But yeah, but if you can get this like painted in grayscale, I can kind of see where this is going. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can definitely share your stuff with here. And don't forget, we also have a critique feedback, and if you have any questions with specific parts and you feel like you need to improve on. And then this is like more open-ended for anyone that wants to share like resources for each other. So if you want to improve, feel free. Otherwise, the art thing is more likely to say, hey, I'm gonna share my art. That's it. Like any normal casual thing to do. But yeah, you can share your stuff in that. I mean, I didn't do shared stuff. I don't know. Maybe I mean, at some point, I do want to dive into looking into how online classes work, where how that work in terms of monetization. So I'll have to take a look at that in the future. But that's something to keep in mind for myself. Because I can always use whatever I learned in my education to at least make it more cheaper. But yeah, I mean, actually, you know what? On the outside, if you like shrink this all down, now it really looks like a mountain. Right over there, a little bit. Yeah, I mean, and the only thing that caught me off guard when it was big, I mean, I could see this huge rift of implied line right over there that's covering like the sun and that. But maybe if there's some imperfect areas where maybe there's a secondary or tertiary lighting, like almost like a highlight going on there, so it is not like completely flat. But if you're doing cell shading, maybe it will have a little bit of that too. So it feels like a much more like there's some kind of like darkest part can be right over here, and then have a little bit of light, but still considered dark. And then I'm sure you can look at how values work and on like because people draw stuff on Pinterest to show how lighting works a little bit. Yeah, because it seems like the sun would be in outside of the mountain's direction, but you could always have it like right over here, And maybe you can shine with a little bit here or there. True, you're always a lot of help. Yeah. No worries. I'm just using what I learned. So, because usually if you pretty much are originally just not asking for feedback and just sharing the art, and I'll be like, okay, cool and stuff like that. But if you're asking for feedback, then I will just say my full honest opinion, and then use what I learned just to how to proceed. But yeah. But most likely, if you have a goal in mind and you want to get feedback on specifically on other things, then you can always just like clarify. Okay, I like how this as it is, but I'm looking for specific feedback and like for clouds. Then I would help them clarify what direct feedback I can input. So it's up to you how much you want to explain and communicate. But it's always good to zoom out and zoom into what it looks like. But yeah, but as it gets zoomed in for pixel art, it kind of gets a little bit fuzzy a little bit. So the only thing challenging with pixel art, I would say, is that keeping the silhouette, keeping the shape and the design itself still recognizable, even though it's pixelated. Because usually a traditional pixelated image from any real life, that if it's like 200 pixels by 200 pixels and you make everything big, then it will be hardly recognized at face, but it won't look that much artistic. So maybe there's a possibility that you could maybe tweak around a little bit on the lines over here and just, push the things a little bit around just to make sure it looks like a mountain from the big scope as pixel art. But at the end of the day, if you probably color this, you don't have to actually pretty much change that much anything around there. But it also depends on the values and colors too. Because right now I see it's the black thing, but it can just like be hard to see that unless when you put some color in. Then I'll probably see it more as a mountain possibly. Yeah, but I definitely know when it's like really as a shape of full mountain when you like zoom in and zoom out over here. But it also depends on your scenery too. Like if this was like a background or anything, then this small of a mountain right over here would be fine itself. And then you don't have to put that much detail and effort to it. But if it's much more like foreground, like this is your main center of your focus object, then of course you would need to add more detail and think more about the direction of this. Okay, I said a lot. Yeah, I didn't make a plan on making a big drawing. Yeah, but this is good for like a practice. Just trying out that new software. Yeah, I've heard of pixel art before. Yeah, but I think whenever I get some point, I did bought something interesting, but it's on Steam. But you can also get it through Gumroad, I believe. I'm not really sure if it's on Gumroad, but it's on its own website too. But I did bought it, and I have the key for that too. So if I go over here to my little Steam, see that pixel over here? We'll just launch it real quick. So the whole purpose of this, well, I haven't touched it in a while, so it probably haven't updated yet. Or maybe it did. Yeah, it did. So, because you can use this for Godot engine too, for making assets. But the thing about this, you can either create your own pixel art. Well, I use Clip Studio Paint, so I can use Clip Studio Paint to make some work and stuff on it, put out there. But the interesting thing about this pixel over, if you ever want to make any game assets, imagine some 3D effects like bones and rigging and animation. Well, you don't have to traditionally draw the thing. You can always just basically put bones on the 2D sprite and have it stretch, and then you can convert it into an animation. And then the best part of this, there is also an AI feature where if you bring your own drawings and stuff like that, or everything, if you just want to make an art version of your pixel art, and have artists like you basically took a picture of your own 3D work or something like that, and you just want to see it pixelated. This can automatically pixelate stuff, and you can control the hues and saturation and colors and settings with sliders and scrolls and stuff. But I haven't played around with this much yet, but hopefully at some point I will. When I do some other things, if I have any 2D gaming plans there, which I do have it on paper, but I do want to get into other things of how I market and promote myself first about my illustration and concept art before I deep dive this, because any game that you make is a form of long-term investment. So if I spend probably too much involved with it, then I need to equal the same amount of time of how I would market myself in social media. So, but I'm still technically working on the game, so it's just not 2D at the moment. But I do have plans to do solo deving on Godot engine for 2D stuff on it. So, but it's in the frameworks in the future that I would like to do that at some point. But yeah, you can just this is a great tool. I gotta say that. You can also make assets to for environment stuff in there too for 2D. So this is like a huge time saver. And this is called Pixel Over if you want to look it over on Steam. Because who knows, maybe at some point, maybe in November or December or something like that, I'll probably have to just play around with it. Because I do know at some point I was trying to figure out what I want to do with. Well, I can show some examples. What I want to do with. Let's see. With these people, because I did have some ideas that I do eventually want to make a comic book story about these 4 people. I mean, sure, she has her own story that I'm working on as a separate comic, but it takes place more when she's a kid, and much more like she was more adolescent and infant, and it talks about her own origin story. But most likely it's good. This other story that features her. It's mainly about her, but as a debating where I want to put this as. So at some point I have thoughts about maybe this could be a 3D game, but then I was thinking about the scope of this and it was going to be too big. So if I ever want to keep it fun and keep it achievable and variable to make, perhaps I want to make this more of an arcade game as in 2D. So that's something I could throw in for Godot engine too, which I do have. I do some ideas for that, but definitely for sure, I do want to make a comic version of this too as well. So that's something. And now for Metal Beat Souls, I'm still kind of 3D, but then at some point I do want to have like some short snippets of in comic form. I'm more focused on achieving more results with her at the moment. For like comic wise. So I got flowing things ideas going for. Yeah, wow, that would make a good wallpaper. I would say so, yeah. I mean, I could. Actually, I could. I could always put it in Redbubble for sure. But then I do know Teaser, so I did made an account on Teaser like a couple weeks back. No, a month back. But unfortunately, they don't have Stripe, and I don't like PayPal as a using PayPal as a business, because there's been lashbacks for using PayPal for that. But PayPal is good enough if you want to use it as a consumer means to buy something. But for me to use it as a business, I don't like PayPal. But at some point, I think they're gonna implement different ways like Stripe, etc. So I'll wait until like when they implement Stripe, then I will add stuff to Teaser. Which, to be honest, I would for if I'm correct, I think selling my stuff on Teaser would be much more cheaper than Redbubble, because even though Redbubble gives you control of the markup price and stuff like that, they still take a huge chunk of your money, like 80%. Teaser is much more fair. So I did, but yeah, but they're only limited to T-shirts at the moment, but not like, but Redbubble you can do wallpapers for sure. So there's other stuff with that too. But who knows if I do plan? Well, I do plan to try to sell some little bit stuff locally. But if that goes well on its own, then maybe in the long term future I could just figure out how to do posters and wallpapers and stuff. But well, that's like a possibility. But I'm starting small in certain angles to see how this would go. What I can do just to uh, do stuff what I want to do. We'll see. I'm just playing what works, what currently works, and what doesn't work. But I'm in a good environment to sell stuff locally if I want to. Alright, anywho. And just to be honest, I don't mind talking in the middle of the stream. That's the whole purpose of YouTube and Twitch anyhow. So, because for this kind of project, I decided for this one shouldn't have any deadlines or anything. Because it's much more just me experimenting and playing around as a portfolio. But for that, but I do have like other means just to, or I would rather focus on now, get my time just to make sure eventually my other things will in my art that would be considered I want to like make other like bag designs possibly, or for sure, or possibly more like of a stuff that would help me out better. Because at the current moment, if I focus too much on the usual portfolio stuff that were AAA people would see it, or big companies would see it, it's not a good time to put too much energy on it, because everything's going like a little bit crazy. I'll still dip around with that. Let's see. What else we can do? Oh yeah, the jump count. I think it was, yeah, I think it had it before, so I'll have to bring it out. No, I did before. I called it something. I think it's get jump count. Get current jump count. There we go. And we can back to context. That's good. Sometimes jump current count, that's not really know if it says like that. And then if it's greater than or equal to. So yeah, I'll write that down so I won't forget. If I can upload that to Redbubble, if Redbubble accepts the right dimensions for that. But no worries. I can easily recreate that. It was basically a snippet from when I did like that concept art with just the four characters of that, and all of this is like basically just quartering, and then just crop, and that's all. So it's technically semi-reused art just to get that cool position. But yeah, thanks for the option for that. Oh, so I won't forget now. Because because I did. Oh, let me just bring something real quick. But I want to really need to see what I need. So it was working on. Oh, yeah, just working on a little ink sketch I was doing, but that's all. Yeah, and then just a little skyscraper. Planning to do something with it, so that's all. Yeah. Good perspective, yes. Good perspective. Yeah, because I did have, I did like how I want to point out like where that shot the below where Christelle is holding her out, but she has more like like she's not used to the city. She never seen the city before, so she got like a little bit freaked out everywhere because there's too many noises. And the way she dresses like she's like a caveman. Oh, hello there, Emmy. How's how's watching your Netflix or Hulu thing going? I was just sharing my other sketches I did and just talk about stuff. Do you have any cool markers or pens? Uh, I I think I do, but I think they're like Prismas or Microns and stuff. But lately, most of my tools lately it's just this. That's all it is, and I just pen my way through. And when I start laying out my contours and that, I super lightly press and just have a few lines, a couple lines dot. And I kind of imagine the whole circle circumference in my head, and then have like some things laid out. And then I use kind of slight ruling and stuff like that. But but the way I kind of draw, I kind of have like already thumbnails in place. So what I do is just that as I keep going, I don't like just tend to go work backwards. I just try to find ways to move forward when I do things traditionally, and it does help for digitally too. Because what's this pen called? Papermate. You can really get this at Aldi's for like um uh $5 or well, I think if you want to get like the full pack, I think it's around probably 15 or 20. And you get like 20 plus pens of these. And they last for a long time. Oh, Target, yeah, Target too. Yeah, but I've seen these at like I always do. Yeah, they're very good with pressuring. But they're not designed to be art pencils, but they do feel great. And plus, even though Micron's much more like premium, a premium art-ish kind of like, but most likely it's much more of a well, it does have some ink, so it could this is more the paper makes more heat resilient. Yeah, true. Yeah, what makes you feel comfortable doing right? Yes, that is definitely true. Well, yeah, the paper mate is, to be honest, it's good for me because since I had some practice with microns in the past, I kind of use how I feel with pressure and stuff just to transfer that to like a paper mate and just lightly, even lightly, just tap through line work and stuff like that. But you don't have to fully just like draw the whole line. You can just like slightly put like increments of it, and then you can still see like there's a kind of a shape going on too. And sometimes if I want to make a straight line, I can always just use a sticky note. I don't really need a ruler. Because a sticky note, a cardboard over there, and an amount of paper, you can actually just make a straight line. And then you just slightly move it and move it where it goes. And I did that with the perspective city thing. At some point, if we do grow enough audience, I could just have like one streak where we just heavily just focus more on just like talking about art, and then just get people spotlights. I could do that, something like that. All right, let's see if this works. Yes, see, so that yep, see, that's all there is to it. I know I'm just like talking a lot, but I feel like I do need this because it's much more fun on the stream just to kind of like talk about certain things. So who knows, maybe how my channel will evolve in a couple of years from now. We'll see. Alrighty. So that, yeah, so that works. So I think all I need to now just to get this to so now we're gonna just connect this all the way up to, let's see, so after the air combo ended, I could either tell it to go back over here or go back over here and just fall. Let's see here. But then if it's jumping with the air combo thing then it's sending me probably just cut it off and just go back to roll falling. Because it would need to go back to there, then go back to here, landing, then go back to here. So we can just cycle all the way through. So we just have to go with this. Then probably just tell this go over here to cycle. So you just click one or something. So let's and then that would still refer to the other ones. Let's pop this back. And save. Then let's see. Okay, yep, there we go. And then it breaks from there. So, okay. So what we need to do now, let's see. I want to get that function back. I'll have to tell this to go all the way up to down to fight idle if it lands. So it has a two-way breaker here. So this function, I'll just copy that. And then tell this air combo thing to get dragged all the way up to the fight idle. I swear, this is like a huge web. We have to keep mixing things up. Let's see. Oh, isn't it? Okay, it's gonna do a thing. Oh, Emmy, I think Nightbot was asking like, how about we, like, oh, so curious, like, what other digital software do you use? Procreate manually. Yeah. Curious, how's Procreate on the iPad? I do have a drawing pad when I was in school. I used Photoshop. Oh, okay. Yeah. Is Procreate also available like on PC or something? But because usually when I hear Procreate, I think of the iPad. I mean, if you were to give it like a pros and cons about Procreate, um, how how would you feel? Would be great mostly for? No, I think it's an Apple product thing. I see. Alright, let's see. Then, so now... I think I'm going to need to get a little bit more extended time for that thing to fall. If I put 2,000. Very good to go. I think it's better for me because the laptop is trash. I think I would like to listen to music and watch videos while I draw, so my laptop doesn't get lag too much. Oh, yeah, for sure. Because, yeah, that's also another thing I kind of moved to desktop too, because I barely even bring my laptop outside, so it felt very good with that. But yeah, I do agree. I don't have any like music apps installed on this computer, other than well, this one, however. Technically, this isn't a music app. It's basically just playing all my MP3s that I downloaded already. So it's locally playing. So it ain't streaming anything. But I use this for like streaming music. But other than that, whenever I'm not using that, whatever. 5.4 is kind of weird when doing animation states because every 5 to 10 minutes it likes to crash. So that's why I save repeatedly. But anywho. Do use my phone a lot just to use the Mega Boom just to play music. Because, yeah, because the laptop, if you having everything all at once, it could eat up like a lot of resources and stuff. But well, I kind of miss Photoshop in using the drawing pad. Yeah, Photoshop is a lot. Especially if you do ever pay with Photoshop subscription and stuff like that. They have like a lot of AI features where people use it to photo bash a lot of things a lot, or use it to speed up progress a lot. But then it would probably just reuse generic Photoshop stock images just to blend and mesh certain things. Because because Photoshop really jacked up into like an AI generative machine. Because now Photoshop 2025 is like, what if Photoshop and Stable Diffusion married together and had kids? That's what Photoshop 2025 is now. Because what you can do now is that you can draw usually normally like it's like a drawing pad and stuff, but then when you use your cloud internet thing and you allow access to search your folders and stuff. But yeah, so you can just like use the lasso and then tell certain areas, okay, I'm going to type a prompt and then I'm going to slide bar certain things, and then poof, it's there. So, which makes other some automatic features now rendered useless. Because now you can just do that and just don't have to worry about masking things too much. I wanted to get into photo bashing, but not in the AI way. Well, technically, photo bashing is a form of images combining using images. But if you're practicing photo bashing for education reasons, then you can just find a bunch of images on the internet and just use it for personal use. But if you're interested in photo bashing as a tool to improve your artwork just to make a buck or something, then my only suggestion is take pictures that in the real world. So that technically, if you take a picture in the real world and you photography, let's just say grass or, well, actually, we don't really need grass to photo bash, but, oh, I mean, it depends if you want to or not, but let's say if you want to take pictures of unique clouds or stuff, or interesting textures in the seas or shells that would be super hard to like draw all that. then you can use that to photo bash with it and convert it into line art because you own the image for that, so you can do whatever you want with it because you took the picture. So you're owner of that photography. So you created your own custom stock photo that you own for yourself. And bless, if you do want to make a tiny bit of revenue, which is just a few cents, it's not really a huge revenue. There's always Stutter Shock, and not sure Getty's Images is a thing anymore because I think that company got bought out. But those iStock stuff. But then when you upload your stock photos for sale, then you're competing with AI stuff. So there's not much human photography anymore on those platforms. But most likely, the point of photo bashing, you're already using like images that you collected just to make something out of it. But if you want to make a concept creature out of it, technically what AI does, it's another form of like hyper photo batching, but in a way it does form a mood to something. But in a scenario, you could always just use this as a mood board or as inspiration, and then do a bunch of those weird AI stuff in Photoshop. But then you can also say you make your images and stuff like that. Like, oh, I like this, but I don't like this, don't like that. And then you can just manually draw on your own based on the inspiration of that, and just do what you want to create something out of it. If you want to create something fast with it, but that's just one way. But yeah, but usually whenever you use, to be honest, when I see if it's image generative, I see it as almost like as an inspiration mood board, but not as a product itself. Yeah, because to be honest, I do like AI, but as long as there's ethics involved, then I'm on the ethics side with of using it. But if you're using AI unethically, then I'm against that. So I don't have like a side. So if anyone asking like, hey, I like to do traditional stuff in that, but then I also like talking about AI and stuff. It's almost like they're asking that one character who's kind of like acts like he's evil, but then every once in a while he does some good things to look like. And then we're asking like, whose side are you on? And I'll be like, I'm on no one's side, bro. I'm just on my own. So I'm on my own side because that other things that I do know that it's real shitty to take a copyrighted image just to throw it as a generator. Then if you're using it for monetization means with the images that you do not own as a copyright, then that's just dead out wrong. But if you made but if you're making a product of an AI for something to buy something that is ethically profitable, then it can be fine as that. I won't like to see some. I won't like I did see some cool inspiration images. True. Like for example, I do know there's some AI models that does try to inherit or multiple like different kinds of art styles. That's very popular and common, but I don't. Yeah, sorry. True. The spelling. I I don't like, or yeah, you don't like. I did see some cool inspiration videos. No worries, don't worry about the spelling. I get what you mean. Yeah, but it's a tool. You're more than welcome to use it or not. But I don't see it as a final product. I just see it just like something like, oh, what imagination dream I'm going to have today? Is it never Will Smith eating spaghetti, or Van Diesel drinking gasoline, for whatever reason? Kind of stuff like that. Or it's a bunch of Lord of the Rings that features all the actors of Arnold accent. No, that kind of thing is kind of really funny. Alright, I'm moving this. then we change that just to change that here. Okay, that's it. I do want to do the attacks like this, but whenever you get the gravity feeling down here, it does not let you. But you can jump on high, then you should be fine. So in an indent way. The Southman must be told over here to go back to falling. Alright, so it's going to remain as a state where I can only use one attack per animation and not multiple. Because the gravity of the velocity will always go down. Or, what I could do I could do something with and here. You can still keep it 1000. So this does check this here. Actually, and then the and would come from the combo thing. So I think I did have third, get third person character. Let's jump from counter. You know that there's a combo stick with this. Yeah, combo counter here. So we'll have to put this in here somewhere. We can remove that. And if it's less than, or if it, well, if it equals to -1, and if it's greater than, let's say 4, and then it's either I want greater than or nah, we'll do greater than or equals. Nah, we'll do greater than. So go over here. And if it's greater than, let's see how many steps I have in this thing. Wow, so bad. So I've all got to number 2, so greater than 2. Then it could go back over here. Save. So we have like a function going on here. This. Alright, let's see what happens. See if it won't interfere. Oh, okay. Let me get it like a higher elevation. Come on, get up there. I hope you get up there. There you go. Ah, she jumps too much. Okay. Too lazy. Okay, yeah, so yeah, you can do like that. But naturally, when she falls, he can only make like 1 or 2 hits down. So theoretically, I could always just up the dash thing a little bit when she jumps in high. 7 makes it look like she's going up a little bit, unless I do this. But then that's just dodging. So we'll see. I think all of this works fine. So now, somewhere. Do one launch character. I'm back from the start of the show. Hello, ice cream. Welcome. I mean, it ain't Saturday Night Live yet. No, speaking of which, I'm thinking about watching last week's. I haven't seen it in a while. Oh yeah, speaking of which, about South Park and stuff. Oh, I did watch yesterday the Gumball trailer. That dude has been asleep for 7 years. And I don't mind if someone made a throwback classic meme with the Pillar Men theme of that trailer. Awaken Gumball. It is your time to shine once more. Yeah, I can see just like if someone wants to be dedicated, they could just turn that whole Gumball trailer into a JoJo reference. And then we can do launch character, and then do this. Now every time when it jumps, it's just launch it. So, vector. So let's see. Because Z it just goes up, so I'll just say 1,000 for right now. See what happens. Minimize it there. Yep. Okay. That helps. Let's see if there's any other animation that plays here. Okay, yeah, so it does play all those three. And then every time when it does hit, so it needs to hit that time window. Well, maybe should I integrate this in the form attack? Because I didn't like how this goes over here, just to launch that over there. That did happen over here. Get it away. Just move the foot. Four forms attack, disabled, true, plus. How is that? Because you can't interrupt any further if it doesn't reach that signal. So to have it in the animation stuff, sequence. Here's what happens here. The rest of the movement input. So, where's the rest of the movement here? Oh, it checks movement input over here. Give him nothing. Ah, I see. So it would have been smart if you just put it in here, actually. Because otherwise, you can spam this all you want. Or, I could have added movement here. Anytime I need to do this and do that. Yeah, you know what? It would be easier if I put this in here, actually. So we're just gonna put this in there. So it makes anytime we want a middle jump, it would just go there. So well, yeah, we'll just take this out and just move it down here. We don't really need it in there. Because if it perform attack, because yeah, we just need to move this shit. Let's put this over here. And we just have this here. And then I can organize this better. So it doesn't look like that. Just forget it here. Now we're back over here. And we can move this up just a bit. Hello, HHHJHJH, huh? How's it going? That's a very long name there. I'm just organizing my blueprints around because I just added some more stuff to this section, so I just want to keep it clean. But how's it going? How's it going? I'm just playing with my spaghettis. Spaghetti. You know who I am, right? No, I don't, but did you change your identity again, Ice Cream? Because I know you keep changing your YouTube name. I'm gonna start saying you have a split personality there. So maybe I should definitely call you someone else. Maybe you were once Ice Cream. But no longer. So you're entirely a different person. Or maybe you're just somebody that I used to know. Who's Ice Cream? Don't know Ice Cream. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Let's see. Well, let's see. Let's see. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Because I know he likes to change his name every once in a while. Let me load to my channel activity. Alright, let's try this away. Okay, yeah, you're right. You're not Ice Cream. You're not Ice Cream. I mean, Ice Cream changed his name like so many times, so I don't know who he is. Or maybe wait. Or wait. No. Nah. Okay. Yeah, you're someone else. You're actually someone else. Okay. According to the chat history, it looks like you're someone else, but it's still swirling at the bottom, so. But it says you joined a month ago, so you're definitely new. Or you created a new YouTube channel out of the blue, and you just have extras. I'm being a little paranoid. Like, maybe a different device. maybe you are Ice Cream. I just don't know. I will never know. At least, yeah, this is much more neater now. Now you can see like a lot of things coming from here. I just press. Goes over here, goes over here. And this can remain the same over there. Yeah, this is fine. We can just move that over here. File, save all, compile. So now, when it does the launchy thing, it won't just like slow that down. I'm just on a different device. I knew it. I knew it, you were Ice Cream. Maybe second guess. Okay. Okay, so it kind of did work a little bit. So now we just need to launch the character more. So what if we just put 10,000 velocity Z? Let's just do it. So, and it just gets it. Unless did I really set up the logic for this? Let me see. So if it's jumping here true, then the velocity should launch it over here. Well, screw it. Let's see how I can get this. Where this works when it was up here. So the movement input is true here, so that's true. Then launch character, then get to here. But if it's false, then it just goes straight to here. Because I'm about to put a second big condition if it's like higher, so it does get it. Okay, so it straight up ignores it. If it's like that. Okay. So, let's see. So what if I have this over here instead? I'm gonna just play that. Weird. Alrighty. But this condition worked fine when it was way up here, so why is that all of a sudden? Because it does check the movement input's enabled, so if it's enabled, we should get over here. Or, what if it just launches the thing? I'm intentionally breaking it, but I'm trying to see if it works or not. Okay, yeah, see, it does work. It does work. And then, yeah, I could shoot her up to the moon if I wanted to. Everything gets so blurry in the sky. Oh, look at these clouds. And then you get Skydo just like going beyond. Hello, Schmuckle. How's it going? Well, I got a new phone. I'm on it right now, but I'm still ice cream. Okay. Is it like an Android or an Apple? If it's an Android, you served yourself well. If it's an Apple, you just downgraded yourself. And you got rooked. Alright. So this all works, but then it doesn't like to play ball with whenever it's that we launch it. Okay, fine. So if I do this and this truth and it's false, then it does that. Alright, we'll just disconnect that. Say Android. I made a good choice. Android for life. So if it does jump, it does jump, and just do like that. So it does work. It doesn't launch it like that, but if it does like that, then it's fine. So I think this does work, it just needs a second delay. Like, if I do a retriggable delay, 0.0, what would happen if I do that? It'll probably just keep this time to trigger. Because whenever this is true, it will immediately cut this off. So that's probably why. Because without moving input, it would just spin through it. Oh yeah, that's true. If you get it like a Apple, I strongly believe you're missing out on great things you can do on Android. I mean, unless if it's like you're really into Mac and stuff, then I guess you do need Apple products to keep the features synced. But I don't sync my phone on my computer. I don't do that because I know there's this Windows link here that you can have your phone and see your text messages on the side, but yet they have the app installed with Bluetooth. So I don't want to use any Bluetooth. So no. I have an Android but can't afford an Apple. Yeah, because here's the thing. People buy Apple because they just see it's expensive and they just go for it. But you basically lose a lot of features compared to an Android. In Android, you do save some money. In my opinion. So that, yes, okay. So that's what it needed. We need some of that. Right after that, it will just, yeah. Perfect. See, animation just skips. Okay. That's fine if it skips and stuff like that. It's just, it's designed to, you know, keep that thing going. So we can jump from that. But I was about to say the launching is like a little bit too high, so we can lower that down. So all it needs is a trickable delay before it just nerfs it. So it needs a delay. And then it'll do the thing. It'll do the thing. Alright, so let's see if, since I make that down to 500 here, by true, but I do know. See if I can expand how far I can expand this actually. Oh shit. Okay, so yeah, you can expand this so much. That was not on there. You can do that. We gotta. There's a few things we need to do here. So this thing can expand, then that means. I gotta switch up the retrickable delay to a regular delay. That's why. And then it'll probably stop doing it. Maybe. Are you flying? Well, no. I'm just trying to see if I can get the combo still going on the jump attack combo, which I do have fake animations press placeholders as a preset, so I can see if it works or not. So if I want to have the jumping through, let's see if I can expand it in that. We'll just good. Okay, good. That stopped that. It's just so that it can have like something going on here. But since now I know you can just like do that multiple times, I would just like keep it to 250. Flap your tails when you're flying high. Yeah, because retriggerable delay means every time you click, it'll just reset the duration. So if you're spamming under 0.2 seconds, it could infinitely go up and up and up. So with the delay without retriggering, it'll just keep it delay 0.2, and then this movement input would shut everything off. So by reach, it'll be like that. So just to give it much more distant time when you do your air combo attack, because I plan to have 3, so you can double jump and then I'm just seeing how many hits it can go up to. Because I think the thing is, hold on. Let me just switch this up. Where's that? Oh, where's why won't you appear? There we go. Because I think when it hits to... Oh, wrong. When it hits to this. Okay, so see, you got 6B, 3B, and then 7. Seven, I don't see that much, so could be just the animation itself, but let's see. What if I just do a dance? Yeah, just put a dance in as a placeholder to see if it actually goes through. Because this will go over here to 6 to move and hit something there, so it would eventually go the same way. Okay, so it only goes up to 2. So 1, 2, 2. It only goes up to 2 when you hit it. I wonder if I go over here. Alright, let's see. 1, 2. Very rare. So you're falling down so much. But 500, you do get a bit more. So, let me get my calculator. Alrighty, so 500 minus 250. Yeah, of course. 250 plus 500. Then divide by 2. Alright, that's the mean I need to go for the number. So we'll just do 375. I'll save. Let's see. And then we'll do it. Maybe not. The third one. It'll probably be different a little bit, but I do think we get some chances here. And then that would do anything, as usual, because yeah, I disabled it when that happened, so nothing would happen. But yeah, we're good. Yeah, so 375 is not a bad number. So we'll leave it like that for now. Okay. And then you almost said before we head back to Blender. Let's see. I think there's the only thing I have is the ground combo here. So let's just see here. Because here's the thing. I think in setup, if I choose to go like this, well, just pick that. Like this. Well, there's rare times where it does do that. Because I can just do this. Now there's other times when I have that thing flinching here, so what if probably have to do a little space here. Because I'm trying to see in theory, I do know I did solve something there. So I'll probably have to oh, I see. So, what if I just do this? Oh, it quickly switches to the other one. So maybe I did. Don't want to do that. Alrighty, okay. Thought it was something. So, this communicates well with that. That's good. And then the last thing I'll have to animate is the target thing going on. So then the air handle here. Since these are placeholders, we can just delete them. Fine, save. And then having that, so now that's good. So now we got something going on here. Flies up, so probably it's gonna T-post and we just, yep. That's fine. That's fine, this is just a placeholder. And then after that, we can make some edits to it. Like the edits to like when it blends. Some of the point. But it's kind of like T-pose. Alright. We're good. We can just now close this for now. Alrighty, and then we can just switch to Blender. And then we can start doing some more animations. Oh, Blender wants to update. Okay. It doesn't matter. Still unstable. Alright, so what we're doing here. So we can just put this away here for now, so we got that all there. Here. The only thing we gotta worry about is this. So I gotta make rough drafts of this. I won't go like completely. Probably not so long. So let's see. Got 1 and 2. Because based on when it was interacting with the winners jumping more air, all I can say is that the animation to start to end on that one still be 1 second, but the time window for attacking should be quick. Like as an early thing, and then just leave it out for the rest of the pause drop because it just goes out real quick. Could do it that way. Because I'm sure 1 and 2 will hit, but 3, well, we'll see. We'll make it work. Because this also has to do with like midair, but you have to spam during the middle of that, so I have to move the movement input like extension. Just use the paper cup strings to make it fun. Okay, so where's my animation? Oh, there it is. Control C, Control V, do it again, Control V, Control V. Alright, and then we can call this something else. And I could do Airtail. Yeah, we'll just say Airtail. Airtail. This is much more air. Like this, or so I could use this as the ending picture here. And the intro like this. We'll use this one. Alrighty. I'll be right back. I'm just gonna take a little break from my throat. Get something to drink. Alrighty, I'm back. Hello, Smuckle. Got that weird safety first. Yeah. Safety first. At least we got like an interesting position go down here. It's like mirroring a little bit almost to the concept a little bit. So that's a good sign. Probably in the mid between the animations, we'll probably have to look at something like a mid filler there, but something just drafting it. It spins. So the most fun thing about animating her is mostly her tail. Because you can do so much things with it. We're going to do something ridiculous. Oh, I'll leave it be. Something else is fine. Alright, I'm gonna snip this. Alrighty, I think I'm done the stream from there, so... Alright, since 9:30, so thank you all for watching, and I think, during when I'm, like, probably off stream on Thursday, I think I'll just work on early in advance that, like, will trigger things, so I can have that mechanic to work. Yeah. Alright.